After an hour of meditation, it's so difficult to come into sound. But into sound, we have to come. Welcome, everyone, for joining us for our very first weeknight evening series on Zoom. Prior to COVID, we had, many weeknight events and weekend events, but COVID totally came and rescheduled our programs and priorities. However, nothing will stop us in offering meaningful programs and talks that might offer hope, solutions, joy, or whatever is needed for the self to find that light within. For this evening, which is our very first evening program, we have with us a great speaker from Holland. But before I would not introduce her, I will have her co-host introduce her. But this co-host that is with us, Sister Helene, she will be co-hosting this evening and managing the all the evening activities. And by starting with introducing our guest speaker. But before that, it will be lovely that you all come to know about Sister Helene as well, because many of us know Sister Helene, and she has been visiting Los Angeles for many years. I lost count now. And in a way, she is our Los Angeles family member. We know her, many of us know her, she knows us, and she has been a Raja Yoga meditation student and teacher for over 19 years. And by profession, Sister Helene, she is a teacher in mathematics, physics, human and social biology, teaching young adolescents. And she is a very insightful sister, and she has a very beautiful sister to introduce us. So, Sister Helene.
Thank you, Sister Lisa, for this beautiful introduction, and a warm welcome to all, and lovely to meet you this way. Not being able to fly to Los Angeles last summer like I used to. So it's very nice to meet you all in this way. This evening is a beautiful talk from Rita from Holland. She is a psychotherapist, and by profession she's working as a youth protector. And over 30 years she's practicing meditation and also teaching. And I wish you all a very enjoyable talk. Workshop, and it's about being liberated from the emotions. So I hope you enjoy that. It's very insightful for you and very helpful, especially in these times. And I'm sure it will, because I also benefited from it. So thank you, and now over to Rita.
Hello. I wanted to say a few things about this seminar. it is very experiential. And that's almost the essence of emotional liberation. And it's about to be in tune with your heart and also to be in tune with your damaged heart. So you can do the process yourself during this workshop and see how it works inside of you. Okay, thanks. In emotional liberation, there are 7 steps. But the first step is very important because without that first step, the emotional healing cannot start properly. So I want to say something about identity. What is your vision about identity? What are your ideas about human image? We have to have the power of introvertness. There was one man who came to me and he said, Rita, I'm very afraid to go inside myself, to have that journey, that inner journey, because I think that inside of me, there is so much sorrow. So if we think like this man, then we don't develop the power of introvertness. But we know that our identity is pure and positive. And the qualities of the soul are inside ourselves. But if we think like him, that it's all sorrow, then we try to escape. We are looking externally to things. And there are many escape mechanisms. So, but really to start the healing process properly, it's important to realize that your identity is positive, pure, and with a lot of qualities. They are eternal, and emotional layers are more on the surface. So the way out is the way in. Not externally, but to be introvertness, to be introvert. And that brings me to the second point. And that is the relationship with myself. So instead of escaping or external things, we are going to see how is the relationship with myself. That is the second point. And in that relationship with myself, now I'm only talking about emotional liberation, because if we talk about a relationship with myself, we can say many things about it. But for emotional liberation, 2 things are important. What is bothering you? So to have a natural flow of that, to let it come up, what is bothering me? That's very important, to just feel it. But the other thing is equally important. What do you appreciate of yourself? What do you value? So this is almost the essence of emotional liberation, to feel what is a problem, but also to see your own values. And that has to do with identity, so that we don't go into that limited lane of emotions, because we have to have a broad perspective of ourselves. So, but we first go to that escape thing. And I think we recognize it all, that sometimes we escape when there is something that's not right in ourselves, we try to escape. It can be very mild, shopping too much, eating too much. Well, that's not really mild, but it can also be severe, like having suicidal thoughts or addictions, drugs, alcohol. But it's a very personal thing. So I'm asking you now to do a self-reflection and to think about what is my escape. Maybe you have 1, 2, or maybe you don't have any escapes, also possible, but just to reflect for 2 minutes to see what are my escape mechanisms. If there is some emotional pain, what do I do? Shopping, chocolates, just have an honest conversation or reflection with yourself for 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. After this self-reflection, we do another one, and that's about the second point, the relationship with myself. So what is bothering me? And name one point for yourself, self-reflection. And then the second one, what do I value? Also 1 point. And we keep it very simple. And also 2 minutes for that. What's bothering me? What do I value about myself? Only 1 point. Okay, thank you. I want to say about something about the effect of emotions. If we don't process emotions, what do we think? That they are gone? Not at all. So if we don't do it, if we don't process emotions, then we fix those emotions. And to fix emotions, we can do on two levels. The level of thoughts, the mind, repetition, or so repeating our emotional pain. And the second level is the cell level. It's a little bit more severe. It means that it's, in our body parts. I will explain to you about first about fixing it on your mind. There was one man, and he came to me and he said, Rita, I have had such a dominant father. Every time he was saying, you cannot do this, and he was really ruling my life, and I became so insecure. And I'm now married, I have my children, but I feel very worthless because of my father. He really hammered it into my soul. So that is an example of someone who is repeating the problems. He's talking about it with his wife, with his colleagues, and every time it's about his father, that he feels now worthless because, he had a terrible youth. So that is fixing it on a thought level in your mind, repetition all the time. And of course it has social consequences, because many people don't like it if you talk about it all the time. That is a repetition, and I think we can recognize it. But the second one, to fix it on a cell level, is quite severe in a sense. So one client came to me and he had heart problems. It was tension and anyway, heart rhythm disturbances. And I explored them. Okay, what happened? Can you say something about it? And he was talking about his parents, that they were fighting all the time. And he was a very little boy. He was in his room. He tried to sleep, but he couldn't sleep because he was afraid that his father would hit his mother. And so there was tension all the time. He wanted to protect his mother, but of course he couldn't as a young boy. And when he was talking about this, his hand went to his heart, and then he could make the connection. The tensions of then, the quarrels between my parents, the tension of it, I fixed it in my heart. It's on my cell level. So, and that's very, very, very good, very important. If someone can make that connection, okay, this was it, these emotions, and it's in my body in a sense. That's a healing thing, to open it up. So I want to go back to that man who was repeating all the time, his dominant father. Is this really possible? That brings me on the third point. Take a decision. What do you think? If you are repeating a thing, it doesn't solve a thing. So we have to use our intellect and take a decision that we can say, okay, I have had that emotional pain, I talked about it, but now it's enough. It doesn't solve a thing. So to take a decision, I asked the group many times who did this in his life, to really feel that now I don't want to suffer any longer. I have to use the power, my own willpower, my own decision power, my own intellect to stop it. And many did. And that's a crucial moment in your life that you really, and it's like choosing for yourself. that you don't want to suffer any longer, but that you want to live, that you want to add qualities to your life. So that's to take a decision. And then the other point is that sometimes we dragged so many emotions for a long time that it's like a record in the soul. Over and over, we did repeat it. So, of course, we have to take a decision, but we also need power to break a pattern. And that's the part of meditation. So that's the fourth one, to really accumulate power through meditation to be able to transform it, you know, because it's, we realize this, that it's like a pattern of negativity and we need power to break it. So meditation is a very important part of processing emotions. We will do now an exercise in meditation, and it's only about power. And you can do it, of course, yourself. All the things that we are talking about now, you can do yourself. And so it's an independent journey in a sense. I'm sitting in a relaxed manner. And this is about myself, about my life. And I am the life force of this body. I am like a point of light in the center of my forehead. Without me, the soul, this body cannot do anything. I create my thoughts. And at this moment, I only create thoughts that are helpful for me. Pure thoughts about myself. And I visualize myself in my true form of light. And in myself is my past, my present, and also my elevated future. I see myself in my pure form of light. And I feel that the speed of my thoughts is slowing down. I can feel the space between my thoughts, that my mind becomes more still. And if my mind is in a condition like this, it's easy for me to travel with my consciousness, with my pure thoughts. I'm journeying upwards to a region of complete peace, a region of stillness, where no negativity can enter, no insecurity, no fear. Here I am free, myself, and I feel the silence in my own heart. And in this region is the ocean of power. Just like me, a source of light, pure light, purifying light, point of light, but like an ocean. And I fill my heart with pure power. My heart is relaxing, opening, absorbing light and might. I am a soul with a powerful identity of peace. Okay, thank you. That was power in emotional healing. And then we get to core emotion. That's the fifth point. Everyone has a core emotion. And a core emotion is something that is happening to you all the time. It's coming up. You know, it is, maybe it's something of the past, but that emotion is triggered very, very easily. Sometimes you read an email and there is not so much one critical remark and you feel rejected. Maybe that's your core emotions. We have many, many core emotions, but all emotions can be core emotions. But you personally know what is your core emotion. And don't forget that this is very experiential. So you can feel what your core emotion is because it comes up, it's triggered very easily. But it's very important that you know it, that you feel it. Okay, this is it again, you know, rejected or abandoned or feeling low or not appreciated, angry, not heard. It can be anything. So if you feel it, then it's important that you allow it to be there. Because if you allow it, you know, or to feel, for instance, rejected, if you allow it to be there for 100%, then it fades out. That's also a key factor in emotional healing. Sometimes we feel it and we don't accept it for 100%. Maybe, you know, in a group also, they said, you know, sometimes 80% and then I escape again. But it hasn't, it mustn't be 80%, but 100. So that's what your heart is feeling. Okay, it's allowed to be there. You had your reasons for it. You know, take yourself seriously in this. It's your own story. So to accept emotion, that's what you're reading, but it's really also to allow it to be there, but also to realize that you are not your emotion. Remember the second point about the relationship with yourself. It's about, okay, what is my emotion, but also what do I value about myself? So it's opening up, but also opening up to the positive qualities inside yourself. That's healing, but the core emotion comes up to the surface. And that's also important to realize that our personality, the blueprint of our personality or our identity is more ancient than our emotions. Emotions are acquired, but our identity is intrinsic, it's always there. So emotions are on the surface, you can say. So that's also what we do in meditation. I will do a meditation on a core emotion, that we go deep inside ourselves. Okay, I allow my core emotion to be there, but I'm going further in my own soul to feel the qualities inside. And what is very important, what I see with clients, is that when a quality comes up, it can be courage, can be power, can be royalty, can be love, but that quality, that personal quality from yourself, what comes up, helps you to overcome your core emotion. So it's the self-healing capacity of the soul, you can say. So a very important practice we will do just now, a meditation on core emotion, to really let it come up. It's allowed to be there, and if you do it 100%, it fades out. I heard hundreds of people, it's fading out, and then back to your identity. Okay, so we do now a meditation on core emotion. I'm sitting with myself, for myself. Whatever I did or who are with me is not important now. It's just me and my own story, my own life story. And I'm very honest with myself. I open my heart and I listen. I listen to myself. What comes up? What happened to me? What was painful? What's like a shadow that's following me and is coming up every time? And I open myself for myself in a very gentle way. And the attitude towards myself is one of love and compassion and honesty, but also of value. I value myself, but I allow feeling of pain to come up. And I see it. And I recognize it. And I allow it to be there. I had my reasons for it. And I take my time to just feel it, to allow it. And when I'm ready for it, I journey deeper into my own soul. I visualize myself in the center of my forehead, radiant light, a point of light, the life energy of myself. And I open myself for my own original personality. And I feel my quality that's coming up now. I experience the quality of myself. And it can help me. It will help me to process pain. And now I stay in this quality of myself, and I radiate it into the atmosphere. I make it stronger. I radiate it around me. Okay, thank you very much. I hope it went well. And if it did not went well, that's also okay. It's a practice that we can do in our homes. And of course, it's a process, you know, to be very smooth in this. Then from here we go to another point, and that is the sixth point. And that's, of course, a very important in emotional healing. Realization, letting go. And if you are ready to forgive, you cannot force forgiveness. So realization and letting go, because that is, of course, an important part of emotional healing, to just be able to let it go. You know, it's not ruling me, myself anymore. I know who I am and I let it go. And of course, in the part of the core emotion, sometimes we see someone because we have, there was someone who, that we did take sorrow, or we gave sorrow. And so sometimes there is one person or two, but maybe one, most of the time one, that is connected with that core emotion. And that's all right. That's also allowed to be there. You know, we lost power, but also other people lost power. And that's not an excuse for handling in a negative way, but it is a fact. The soul lost power. So we are going to do now also a meditation exercise in realization, letting go, and if you are ready for it, forgive. I work with a lot of women who had been through a lot of traumatic experiences, and who say, well, I cannot forgive this person, and that's also all right. It's your life. You are the expert of your life, no one else. So be in tune with your heart and with your damaged heart. Also in this, you know, it's you. You are the center point. You are the center point. So together we go to a beach, and I will do a guided commentary, but it's very experiential. So all of you are walking on the beach alone, and see what happens. See what happens to you. I'm walking on the beach. It's beautiful here. The color of the water, the waves, and the warm sand. I can feel it under my feet. I feel really, really contented here, and also with myself. It's warm, and also the seawater is warm under my feet. I feel my inner strength. I feel the qualities of the soul. I feel really peaceful here, but also happy. I'm in tune with my original self of power and peace. And I radiate this energy all around me. I even give it to the 5 elements, the water and the sand, the earth. And then when I look straight forward on the beach, I see another person coming in my direction. But it's all right, I feel fine. And I don't recognize who it is yet. But anyway, that person is determined to come to me. That's what I see. And I feel the warmth of the sun and also of the sand. And I walk further. And I look to that person. And now I recognize who it is. But I still feel fine. I feel the peace inside myself, the power. Inside myself. And then that person is very close to me. And I stop and I wait. That person wants to say something to me. And I allow it, of course. I feel fine, so that person is saying something to me. And I listen attentively. And I feel very relaxed and very easy. Really in my own center points. And then I want to say something back. And I do it. I want to say something. And that person is listening and is open. It's not really a long story what I want to say, but a few crucial things. And that person is listening. And then I'm ready and I wait if the person wants to respond or say something back. And yes, there is a reply and I listen. It's all right. I feel okay. And then there is silence and it's finished the conversation and it's all right. It has been important for me. And then I walk back and that other person also. We have our own journey to do. And I decide to swim a little in this beautiful, beautiful ocean. And I'm happy with myself and contented. I feel my inner power. Okay, thank you. That brings us to the last point, number 7. And that is to write a letter to yourself. Me in 2020. A soul conscious letter to yourself with all the experiences you have had during this seminar, during this workshop. It's like, something comes up that you want to say to yourself, not only about your emotional pain, but also about what your aim is in life, what you want to achieve, what the qualities are that you want to manifest in your life. But to be really very honest, and I want to give an example of Italy. I was doing a workshop there before the COVID-19 period, and there was one lady from Sardinia, and she said, I did encounter someone on the beach, but it was myself. And I had an honest conversation with myself, because I am always so harsh and verbally aggressive towards people. It's like psychic violence that I have, and I want to stop it. I don't want it anymore. I'm more than that aggressive behavior and that attitude towards others. So I had the experience that with myself, okay, I did realize that I was verbally aggressive. I want to stop it. I don't want it anymore. And I really feel now that I am, yeah, that I am a beautiful person, and that it doesn't suit me at all, that behavior. So a letter can be short and a letter can be long. There was one boy who had been abused in his when he was young by his father. He was beaten very much, and he was writing that letter to himself. We were then in a group, and most of the time I ask, do you want to share it with another person or plenary? You know, you can choose that for yourself. But he wanted to share it. And of course it was in Italian. I had someone from Milan who was translating all the issues, but I did not ask for translation. And he was reading that letter. He wanted to do it in the group. And then the group became very silent. And after that, they applauded for him because he could open up for the first time in his life about his abuse, his pain, but also about what he wanted in his life, that he realized that he had treasures inside himself. So a perfect example of emotional liberation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. And if you have any questions, then we first have a meditation, and after that we can have an interaction with question and answer. But first we will meditate on our inner beauty.
The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, and nurture you. Oh, the power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on us. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you and me is here to create magic on us. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you and me is here to create magic on us. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away our fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, nurture you.
Okay, thank you.
Om
It's
Shanti.
yeah, it's time for question and answer. So if you have any questions, most welcome.
Yes.
If you want to say something, most welcome.
So anyone would like to ask any questions? Looks like everyone got their answers
Oh, okay.
because everyone seems silent.
Yeah.
I can. Oh, sorry, I have to. There's one in the chat.
So both of them, Sister Rita and Sister Hillian, they are from Holland. And at the moment, I think, what time is it? 3:30 a.m. for you? So it's early morning for them. And we are like on the two end of spectrums. They are beginning their day and we're ending our day.
Yeah.
So it was so there's a question that came up. What if you can't identify what or who the source of problem is? Sister Rita?
Yeah. Of course, it takes time. It takes time. That's for sure. I mean, we need to have the focus on ourselves. That can give all the answers. And I think it's really very, very experiential. And I think that, you know, we escaped emotional pain a lot. There are so many possibilities. So I think that to become introvert and to really feel what is bothering you, you know, that is an exercise to the second point, you know, the relationship with myself. What is bothering me? What do I value? To if you do this on a daily basis, what is bothering you, what's coming up, then you become in tune with your damaged heart to be open, because of course we have sometimes walls around our heart because we have gone through a lot. So, but it's really, if you have that point in your life that you want to be clean and to be compassionate, then you can do it. You can just begin small. What is bothering me? What do I value about myself? And then, you know, all the tools that we have mentioned and explained is helping you to let it come up, but not to identify in that sense with a core emotion. It is an emotion, you feel it. Mentally, we did a lot. You know, we talked about it, we figured it out, but it's not, mentally, you're not going to achieve it. It's really to feel it, to experience it, to let it come up. And then you know it for sure. Yeah, that's again, I feel again rejected. I feel again abandoned, betrayed. I mean, so many things. And you don't have to go back for it. So take your time. It will come up if you are ready for it, because that is a motivational factor. You have to be ready for it. And no one can force you to do something. It is just your life. But it can be a motivation to clean yourself, to be really, you know, in your own core identity, personality, to really be soul conscious and to experience the qualities of the soul, to really add beauty to your life and not to suffer. You know, that's also a decision.